Over the last 10 years, hundreds of couples have gone through Jacqui's Save My Marriage program. And values work has been woven through the whole thing, even back in the early versions around 2017. And today, I want to use her work as a case study because if you're a coach, counsellor, or therapist and you feel like you've been struggling to get cut through or to get to the root cause issues your clients are dealing with, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Lee Ashby, founder and creator of the Life Values Method. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we've integrated values work throughout Jacqui's program and practice. And then I'll show you how you can apply the same approach in your own niche. So this isn't a one-off worksheet or module that you tack on, but it's a thread you can weave through your whole practice or program. The simple idea is that values support your client's journey and they're key to achieving their ultimate result. You see, values do a few things really well. They create buy-in, they create clarity, and they reduce shame and defensiveness. They deepen commitment and they pave the way toward healthy responsibility. And they help clients make better decisions in alignment with their values and what they really want. Because often, people's values are unknown or they're out of alignment and they're going unmet, causing all sorts of chaos in their lives. And things can get worse under pressure. Your clients might not be able to name it, but they'll feel it. They'll sense what's missing, what's being ignored, threatened, or compromised in some way. And through values work, when you can name what's going on clearly, the whole change process gets easier. Let's take a quick case study as an example. Here is Sarah and John, just a made-up couple. They reach out to Jacqui with the common surface issues going on in their relationship. Arguments, emotional distance, bickering, stress, uncertainty, that wavering sense of love and connection. Pretty standard stuff for a couple in distress. But underneath those surface problems, it's often things like unmet needs, unspoken expectations, identity uncertainty, major life changes that they're not navigating well, standards not being met, and boundaries not defined or being crossed. Old beliefs and traditions being challenged, and no shared plan for handling stress. And when values come into the conversation, something becomes obvious. There's usually a value underneath the pain. For example, on the surface, John might look avoidant because he shuts down. But underneath, what we might find is a set of John's values being compromised, and his shutting down is his learned way of protecting himself and those values. Or Sarah might look critical on the surface, but underneath what we might find is a set of unmet needs and values. And criticism is her learned way of fighting for those values. It just needs to come out better so they can both understand what matters. So now suddenly it's not just you're the problem, it becomes, there's something important going on here. Let's find a better way to work it all out. Now that shift alone reduces shame. It reduces defensiveness, and it gives the couple a shared target. So instead of me versus you, it becomes us versus the pattern. Let's look at what changes when values find their way into the relationship. Jumping toward the later stages of Jacqui's program, when couples have done the work, you see shifts like this. They're less reactive. They're more reflective, more self-aware, and more relationally aware. They can consider their partner more. They work as a team. They remember why they're together. And they build a shared vision they can actually follow. Now, those outcomes aren't magic. They're what happens when the work becomes meaningful, personalised, and grounded. Let's now look at 3 simple ways that Jacqui uses values and why it matters. So first, values reveal positive intention. And Jacqui uses values to help each partner understand the positive intention underneath the behaviours. Not to excuse bad behaviour, but to understand it. Because when a couple can see the unmet value beneath the hurt, empathy starts to appear. And empathy is a game changer for repair. Second, values create individual clarity and shared direction. Couples build individual clarity first, often starting with a personal top 10 values. Then they explore their shared values, and this creates shared language, and it helps them stop debating the surface issues and start aligning around what actually matters. It clusters meaning and reduces cognitive overload. Values also connect the past to the future. Jacqui can help couples look at their past and what this might mean. The values they want to live by now and into the future for themselves and their relationship. Now that creates new shared meaning, and it gives couples a reason to keep showing up when things get hard. And these exercises are woven through the whole program. This is the key part that matters. It's not just a one-off value session. Values are woven through Jacqui's whole ecosystem. For example, there's both clear and subtle values prompts inside the couple's journal for deep reflection and processing. And these values themes are an essential element inside the smooth conversation cards and the wider communication framework. You see, values are a common thread inside the mindfulness and guided meditation audios and practices, and values, of course, are a reference point during sessions for deep relationship repair. So a key point to note here is about lived experience. It's one thing to learn something new or to understand something in session. It's another to live it and put those insights into action to make a real difference. And that's what values help your clients do. They're the ones living their lives. So they have to be able to handle it and put it into practice between sessions. And this is what drives successful outcomes, having the resources and easy to use frameworks that couples and clients can use on a daily basis. For example, let's look at how values reduce defensiveness and build emotional safety. Jacqui describes this really well. When values are out and on the table, couples can literally see what's going on. They can see the unmet value beneath the pain, beneath the shutdown, beneath the criticism, beneath the avoidance. And that understanding helps shift the couple from blame and hopelessness towards compassion and responsibility and new connection. So how does this apply to your niche? Let's now make this really practical for you. Here's an example framework that you can apply anywhere your clients might be getting stuck. So the first thing you can do is creating a top 10 values card set, and you can use the virtual deck to get started. This will help your clients get clarity on what matters most. It's a simple yet powerful starting point. And next, you can identify one value that's under pressure. What value is being threatened, ignored, or compromised in the presenting issue? And then thirdly, what you want to do is create one small action that's linked to that value. It could be having a conversation, setting a new boundary, perhaps having a weekly check-in, or making a new commitment. Maybe there's a reflection exercise that your clients can do, something that supports the value being seen and lived. Now that's just a simple, straightforward way how you can turn values into traction. And you're welcome to begin weaving this into the way you work. Now, while we're at it, let's check out some of these other examples and topics that you can weave into your work. They're all values-based, and I'm sure you can tell how effective they might be when used alongside the work that you do. So here are some options drawn straight from the Life Values method. First up, individual top values for clarity and direction. Shared values for alignment and teamwork. Values-based reflection and exploring for discovery, meaning and insight. And values-based boundaries for healthier relationships. Values-based vision for motivation and momentum. And values check-ins during conflict to stay calm and focused on what matters. And a quick note for team and leadership practitioners. Teams add an extra layer. There's culture, standards, expectations, and unspoken rules. Values work can help reveal where alignment exists, where values clash, where meaning is mismatched, and where people are misreading each other due to different value languages. And here's another thing to consider for your business and operations. Values improve business outcomes by reducing drop-offs and increasing retention. It's a classic win-win situation. And as we've talked about, values create buy-in. Clients are working with you for change and transformation. They're not just chasing a short-term relief. They're pursuing a stronger identity, more meaning, bolder confidence and better health, and success and happiness. They want a future that they're actually excited to experience. And if they're on that path with you, they'll stay, meaning less drop-offs and more quality outcomes. And sure, Jacqui's program is a mature ecosystem now. Printed materials, modules, tools, a members area, products and more. But you don't need all of that to begin. What you can learn from it is this: values make the abstract visible. So just start with that. Tools like the virtual deck make values tangible and easy to work with, even fun. The Life Values method contains over 40 exercises across a range of topics, perfect for integrating into the way you already work. And there's further tools like the alignment grid that take values work to a whole new level. And it gives you a repeatable process you can apply across all your areas of expertise. So if you haven't watched my videos on the Life Values Alignment Grid, I encourage you to check those out now. You can also visit my website and download the free Life Values Alignment Grid Guide. And start by finding out where you land on the grid and where you tend to go under pressure. And when you're ready, grab the practitioner kit and start using any of the exercises in your work straight away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.